Once upon a time, at the edge of a quiet meadow, stood a very tall tree, and nestled in its branches, hidden by leaves and laughter, was Moonie's secret treehouse. It wasn't just any treehouse. It had rope ladders, a telescope, tiny shelves of glittery books, and a soft purple rug made from moon moss. Moonie loved spending every afternoon up there, reading stories and talking to her stuffed animals. But one windy evening, something strange happened. Moonie was sketching a map of the stars when her teacup began to slide across the floor. Then the books started to float. Then the whole treehouse lifted off the branches. Moonie blinked. Wait, am I flying? The treehouse was no longer resting in the tree. It was soaring into the sky, quietly, smoothly, like a gentle balloon. Moonie clutched her telescope and peered out the window. She saw birds flapping beside her, clouds that looked like marshmallows, and even a grumpy stork who muttered, "Watch where you fly." But who was flying the treehouse? Moonie climbed up the rope ladder to the lookout tower, and found a button she'd never seen before. It was shaped like a glowing acorn and had a tag that read, "To fly, believe. To land, dream." Moonie pressed the acorn gently. Suddenly, the treehouse spun in a loop-de-loop, and they were off on an adventure through the skies. They floated past floating islands where fairies played hopscotch. Their wings shimmered as they jumped and giggled. One fairy waved and called, "Come play with us, Moonie." Moonie laughed, waved back. Next, they zipped over a rainbow waterfall cascading gently into fluffy clouds below. At the edge of the waterfall, a group of silly green frogs sat wearing tiny party hats. They blew bubbles, danced on lily pads, and laughed every time one of them slipped into the water. One frog shouted, "These bubbles are airplanes." Farther ahead, Moonie saw a sad, puffy little cloud, floating slowly.
"Have you seen my thunder?"
The cloud sniffled. Moonie gave him a gentle pat and pulled out a magical butterfly from her hat.
"Thank you."
But as the stars twinkled in the sky, Moonie began to yawn. She looked at the button again. "To land, dream," she whispered. So she curled up in her moon moss rug, closed her eyes, and dreamed of her meadow, the big oak tree, her books, and her favorite stuffed bear, Jellybean. When Moonie opened her eyes, the treehouse was back in its tree, gently swaying in the early morning breeze. Was it all a dream? Maybe, but when she looked under her pillow, she found a tiny glowing feather, and Jellybean the bear was holding a tiny pilot's hat. Moonie smiled. She looked up at the sky. "Same time tomorrow," she whispered. If you like this story, hit the like button and subscribe channel for more interesting and moral stories.